Welcome back to another amazing conversation on the channel. Today we sitting right on the pop culture rants playlist because this topic has nothing to do with what I normally talk about. So I just wanted to provide a little rant of my thoughts of where the current rap beef is between Drake and Kendrick and all the other characters involved. But honestly, I really wanted to say a couple of things about Drake's rollout of his diss track push-ups to Kendrick, okay? And I'm going to show some B-roll from the Joe Budden podcast because, they are just kind of like on the front lines of discussing everything that's going on. So before we really get into everything, please make sure to like this video and that you're subscribed because, we just be talking about everything here in regard to music, hip hop, and pop culture. But anyway, so Drake put his push-up song out and it was leaked at first, right? And so my first take on the rollout, there was a lot of like hoopla over the rollout, but I actually thought that the rollout was genius. And I say that because I'm a very hard person to market to. I hate feeling like you're selling me a product. I hate a rollout. Just drop a link and give me what it is, right? Because like, hello, I already know what's coming, so it's like, and when it comes to dissing, right, and rap battles, strategy is actually an important pillar for me, an important thing about how I will judge something on. So it has to be the bars, whatever you revealed or exposed, and then your strategy. And Drake's strategy for me was 10 out of 10. And I think in my previous video, I said that I couldn't attribute it or give all of my 10s to Drake because I don't even know if that was planned. Since then, academics has come out and said that it was not planned or whatever. So it seems like I can't really give Drake his 10s, but it really doesn't matter to me because it's like, I keep saying like, I'm not on nobody's side. I'm on really nobody's side. Once again, I'm just sitting here enjoying the popcorn, but y'all, or at least people on the internet, love to make me think that I'm actually team Drake and I'm a fan of Drake, which I'm really not. And it's crazy because I heard somebody else say, but it seemed like it's a lot of hate for Drake on the internet. And I'm talking about even outside of what my primary algorithm is, which is a lot of female rap content, female rap fans, or people who are fans of Nicki Minaj. And so let's leave that on the table because we're not discussing any of that. We're simply keeping it on Drake and his rap beef. And so once again, I feel like his rollout was genius because he had people sitting down for at least 2 hours debating on if his thing was AI or if it was really real. And in the moment, of course, it was annoying, but in the end, it worked out because he had our attention for like 8 hours on a Saturday, right? And it was amazing for academics to get the exclusive file, the real file with all of the, like the final edits and stuff like that, because it really made academics like the #1 hip hop platform right now in the culture. And you can, hate him all you want, but the facts are the facts. And you would love to be in his position if you had to, have getting the diss tracks straight from the rap god of the world right now. Okay, no shade. And so yeah, so Ack had it, and then they broke it down, and then even though Rick Ross came in and took some of Drake's shine because he dropped the track a couple hours after Drake dropped, Drake still had everybody's attention and still currently has everyone's attention for the most part because he's the one who's giving the most right now in terms of music. And yes, there's some social media stuff right here, and I'll probably get into that, but everybody is waiting for what's his name? Kendrick, as we all know. Now, because of my lack of familiarity with Kendrick, let's hear something real quick that academics told Joe Budden regarding how young people see Kendrick Lamar in hip hop.
Little brothers in high school. I have
and they're saying Kendrick #2 or Kendrick is. They don't even look at the nigga like that.
Not only that, I have cousins in colleges. HBCUs.
Hold on.
So academics is saying that young people do not look at Kendrick as the #2 person right now in hip hop.
It's different if they're viewing hip hop like we are.
I'm just
the majority that are just viewing hip hop as who's the most poppin' nigga, which a lot of people outside of the conversation we're having, they just view it as who's the most lit guy, who's the person who will play most in the club, get bumped in cars a lot. We're just thinking about who's the guys who's in headphones all day.
Yeah,
so they don't see Kendrick as #2. If you're into hip hop, of course.
Yeah, you know what?
Yes.
You know what?
So who do they have?
You know what?
Yeah, so he's making a case why Drake is #1. Now, of course, Drake is academics' favorite artist and stuff like that. So take that with a grain of salt or whatever. But yeah, like it is what it is. And I think that, even for me, like you can say, oh yeah, a little bit of bias towards Drake. Well, Drake is one who I'm familiar with. And it's not because I like him. I don't listen to Drake's music, but he is the most a consistent rapper. He's the most consistent artist. You know, he puts out the most music. So he can let me know, okay, yes, depend on Drake for a hit. I don't know Kendrick for nothing, no shade. You know, but if you are like what's his name's, like Joe Budden's age, then yeah, you will probably consider Kendrick a #1 in hip hop. So let's come to this tweet right here. It says Drake posts Kendrick Lamar's manager and says, "We getting in our bag or nah?" So Drake is really putting pressure on Kendrick and his team to drop. It says Drake is really reducing hip hop beef to high school social media. DMX stance on him has aged so well. RIP to DMX. We really need to give him his roses for that. Can somebody tell me what DMX said about Drake? Because I don't know. But you know, even though I'm giving Drake his 10s, I'm gonna, you know, include this saying that he's reducing hip hop beef to high school media. I think a lot of people are getting bored and maybe a little annoyed with the beef as well, because a lot of other people are jumping in it. At this point, Kanye has jumped in as well, and I have some clips about what I want to show from him. And here it is. Let's hear what Kanye had to say.
And you know, everybody was very, very excited about the elimination of Drake. Yo. We were not excited. We was energized.
Energized by the elimination of Drake. I just wonder, like, where was all this energy for Nicki Minaj? I watched another video where another creator says, like, yeah, like this really happened to Nicki, you know, a couple years ago, and it did. But I just wondered, like, everybody seems like so excited or so like, what's it called? Like, just like wanting to call out how, like, here it is. This person says, and this is an executive from Spotify, they say the elimination of Drake was doomed from the start. He ain't going nowhere. LOL, he's too big to fail. Ye just gave him incredible material for his next diss. So I'm just wondering, like, would that be also the stance when it was Nicki Minaj on the chopping block? Was it also the stance when several other female rappers during Remy Ma and Cardi B's reign in 2017 at Summer Jam? Where were y'all back then? Now, the difference between that situation and this situation is that all of the other women who were on stage with Remy Ma, they probably had no beef with Nicki Minaj. They were not featured on any diss songs, or they did not have diss songs towards Nicki. But the ganging up in hip hop is something to be noted. So it says, this person says, I just know Kendrick mad at the 20 other dudes that started dissing Drake as soon as he did. I'm sure he is, because I think that it's true that a lot of the rappers have different issues with him, and definitely Kendrick. And so I'm sure that, you know, while it's like, yo, like I'm trying to talk to this dude and it's like everybody jumping in, I'm sure that is a little, I'm sure that is a little annoying. Now, this person said, a YouTube channel hinted at why Kendrick bought a Brooklyn condo, and why does Drake bring that up so much? I think that that's pretty interesting. Why does Kendrick Lamar have a condo in Brooklyn, New York? And why does Drake bring that up so much? Does he know something that we don't? I don't know. But what I do think is interesting though is the fact that people want to sort of like say why Kendrick Lamar, I mean, no, why J. Cole should get a pass for like apologizing, which I don't understand. Now, before I finish that thought, let's hear what Joe had to say about Drake versus Kendrick, and the J. Cole beef is manufactured so labels can test out AI.
If my plan involved AI, I would want to test. I would run a very sophisticated test. And because I fired everybody, that means I need my big boy acts to be not only as big as they were, but even bigger now. How do I do that? I'm no politic genius, but I know that one thing war does, besides get people killed, is make some money.
Generate revenue. Mm-hmm.
Why would I not have the 3 biggest acts in the world just fight?
So he's alleging that label executives want them to go at it.
But then that didn't make sense to me in the movie, because I don't tie J. Cole to Interscope until I go Google things. And as you would have it, J. Cole's distribution is Interscope. I don't know if that's the case for him as an artist, but I don't know anything, and I'm only imagining in a movie. So I don't have to be right. All we know about Kendrick is that he's not Top Dog anymore, and we barely know anything about that. But they were Interscope. So PG Lang may or may not be Interscope. Drake seems to still think he's Interscope.
I don't think
Drake is Interscope. I mean,
I don't think PG Lang is Interscope.
Interscope, Universal. But it's not really Interscope anyway. They're all Universal.
Mm-hmm. Good for business.
Great for business.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying that Universal executives say that this is great for business because all three of those men, so Drake, Kendrick, they all have had affiliations with Universal Music Group, still do allegedly or whatever. So it's making money for them because everybody's streaming their music, right? And so let me know how you guys feel about this. So here's the thing, right? This is why people are saying like, oh, J. Cole is bowing out. And I think they're giving it a lot of petty reasons because of the high school stuff on social media or whatever. Or see, and this is my point. The only excuse I would give for J. Cole for apologizing is if it comes out that this is in fact the reason for the beef, that the labels want to make money from it, or they're trying to test out AI. Other than that, I think that this is issues between both Drake and Kendrick that they do need to solve. But that's my only thing about how I'm letting J. Cole escape from this, because absolutely not. If there's no other reason, then absolutely not. He should have still, he should have still did what he needed to do, like in terms of not releasing a diss, if that's what not what he wanted to do. But I think you guys get what I'm saying. So if you do, or if you didn't, like, please let me know any thoughts about my thoughts or opinions. And thank you so much for listening. Please like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.